Hi, yes, good evening. So how many of you are here for the first time? First time? Okay, great. First time, great. All right. Okay, so please subscribe using the link that has been shared in the chat. I think some of you are asking how to subscribe. First time at my session. Okay, great. All right. Okay, so today okay, some of you have joined my sessions many times before, it looks like, which is great also. Always nice to have you back. Okay, so today we are going to be specifically looking at the listening section. I know that we don't talk about the listening very much, so I decided that it's high time we do a section on the listening where we can talk about the different kinds of issues that we normally have with the listening section. All right. First, I'm joining the session. Welcome. Okay, so those of you who are here for the first time, please don't forget to subscribe. As you subscribe, you can come back and watch these sessions on YouTube. Even those of you who are not able to watch all of the master classes, you will be able to see the recordings on YouTube. So please make sure you subscribe. Great. All right. Those of you who've already subscribed, great. Great to have you part of our team. Link to YouTube has just been shared. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel using this link, and you can watch the recordings of all the master classes. Great. All right, so today we are going to be looking at the listening section, like I said. So before we get started, I would first like to hear from you. What kinds of difficulties do you have with the listening section? What types of difficulties have you had with the listening section? I will be giving an introduction about myself for those of you who have just joined for the first time. Not to worry. Right. Okay. Section 4 is hard. Yes, difficulty in maths. Okay. MCQ. All right. Rate of speech. Yes, absolutely. Rate of speech is a problem. Okay. Yes, I agree. I agree. The accent also. The map sometimes. Yes. Sometimes the answers to the questions are very fast. Yes, that is also an issue. So today we are going to be talking about those issues, the ones that you have mentioned, which most students have a difficulty with. Yes. All right. So those of you who are here for the first time, I am Swati. Let me give a quick introduction about myself. Spelling errors. Yes. Okay. So it looks like all of you already know what I'm going to talk about in today's session. Right. All right. So we'll get started. I am Swati. Let me introduce myself. I am an IELTS expert and a trainer at LeapScholar. I have more than 8 years of experience. I have 5,000 plus hours of teaching experience. And I have taught over 3,000 students and helped many of them achieve the band scores they desired. I am a British Council certified IELTS trainer and a TESOL Canada board certified English language trainer. So whatever questions you have related to the IELTS, I will definitely be able to help you with that, particularly with the listening section today. All right. Okay, so yes, I'm still hearing people talking about the types of difficulties you are having. All right, great. So we'll start talking about the usual problems that students have. And most of those things you have already mentioned. Now, the 4 main problems that students have with the listening section is the individual letter sounds. This sounds like a very unusual thing to say, right? I know the alphabet, I know how to say ABCD. So why am I having difficulty with individual letters? So this kind of error usually happens in the section 1 or section 2, which is form filling. You have these types of question types where they spell out the name, right? For example, when you have words like, say, Simmons, right? When they say the word Simmons, we hear the word, but when they spell it out, S-I-M-M-O-N, S. So depending on the accent, the way they pronounce the individual letters can be different from what we are used to. And what kind of problems do you think this will have in the IELTS exam? So what if I don't know how native speakers pronounce the letters? Why will this affect my IELTS score? What do you think? Yes. Grammar, not quite. Spelling error, yes. And what happens if I misspell the name in the IELTS listening section? So if I say, yes, Anuj, you're correct. Exactly. My entire answer will be marked as incorrect. So if they say SIMMONS, and if I write SE or SA, then the entire answer is marked as incorrect. So sometimes, yes, Ashwish, correct. So sometimes we don't understand the accent. And how do we fix this, right? So we know sometimes we do have an issue with identifying the letter sounds, particularly A, E, and I. These vowel sounds are pronounced a little bit differently than we are used to. Similarly, H and 8, right? These are the kinds of individual sounds that we make mistakes in. And unfortunately, we lose marks there with silly things, right? This is something that you feel irritated about. God, I lost a mark because I wrote A instead of I, right? So because every single point, every single score changes your band score. If you get a 37, it's a band 8. If you get a 35, it's a band 8. If you get a 34, it's 7.5. So every single point matters in our band score. So missing out on marks because of these kinds of errors is very sad. So we can fix this. It's not a very difficult thing to fix. I will give you resources that you can use to correct this, right? So if you notice that you are having this type of error, I'm going to give you an excellent resource where you can practice for this particular problem. Yes. Okay, I'm seeing some questions, so let me quickly answer those questions. Hello, yes, Ishrat, hello. Are we going to do basic today or a mock test? No, we are not going to do a mock test. We are going to talk about specific issues, and we will be doing a few samples. Yes. Writing task to Sandeepika. Today's session is on listening, so let's stick to that. You can ask me this question at the end of the session. Right. One of you is saying concentration is a problem with the listening section. Yes, it is true. I myself have experienced it listening to the audio. Sometimes it can be difficult to pay attention throughout. And plural and singular, does it have an effect on the answer? Yes, it does. Right. So it depends on the question type. Depending on the question type, singular, plural can have an effect. Usually it does. I'm going to share where you can find the resources for practice for individual letters, and for all of the others, of course, you have practice resources on the LeapScholar site, which you can use. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about that, Prashant. So some of you are saying, I'm scoring very poorly in the listening section. What can I do? That's exactly what we are talking about today. Right, okay. So some words are difficult to understand. Yes, definitely they are. And usually, why is it difficult for us to understand those words? It is either the pace of the speaker or the accent of the speaker. So if we have difficulty with individual letters, then we will learn those letter sounds, audio, not the letters themselves, but we have to accustom ourselves to the audio of individual letters. I'm going to give you some excellent resources where you can practice this as well. Now, for those of you who are talking about words, right? Specific words that we don't understand because of the accent or the pace. So a lot of times when a native speaker is speaking, Will we be provided headphones? Yes, of course. Pen and paper? Yes, you will still get headphones. What if I skip a part of the conversation? Nothing you can do. Yes, it becomes difficult to get back on track, but absolutely nothing you can do in case you have missed a part of the conversation. So you do need to be paying attention throughout. And yes, it is totally fine to write all caps answers in the listening section. Right. What if we know what we said and what... I'm sorry, I don't understand the question. Anonymous attendee. Okay, so the two things that become an issue when we are listening to words. This is the pace and the accent, right? These are the two things that influence our ability to understand words. Those vowel sounds we talked about, those are for spelling, right? Now, what do we do about this accent? What do you think we should do? Now, say we are not able to understand it. Why is that? It's because we are not used to it. So what can we do to become used to it? What do you think? First thing is that we have to get used to the accent, right? Answering questions based on the accent, answering questions based on the comprehension, that comes next. If we don't understand the accent, it becomes very difficult for us to comprehend and find our answers. So please make sure that you start listening to audio clips, documentaries, Nat Geo documentaries, nature documentaries, TED Talks in specific accents. Can you tell me which two accents are more difficult to understand than others? What do you think? British? Yes, definitely British. And Australian? Not so much. Australian and Canadian are relatively easier, right? Okay, so usually the British accent is difficult, and we also have American, in this particularly a Southern American accent. So there are American accents that are easy to understand and easy to follow, and there are some Southern accents that are more difficult to understand because they draw out the sounds. They roll their tongues a bit more, and it becomes difficult to identify individual words because they roll those words together. So it's not that we don't understand the words, it's because they connect those words in a particular way that we don't identify those individual sounds. So these are the two accents that you should start listening to. So immediately after today's session, go to YouTube and search British documentaries and watch it. Watch it on whichever topic you find interesting, does not matter, right? Okay, similarly, go and watch some interviews by Southern American celebrities, right? Or just Southern American accents. You will find that they are different from the normal American accents that we are used to. And you do find this in the IELTS test. In the IELTS test, you normally hear British, American, Canadian, Australian, sometimes Irish, but a slight Irish accent. They will not give you anything with a heavy Irish accent. Okay, so don't worry about that. Right. So these are the things that we need to do in order to get ourselves accustomed to the accent of the speaker. And yes, Bartek, you're correct. On Netflix, there are lots of British movies and documentaries that you can watch. What's the difference between some South American, North American? Like I said, there is a bit of a difference in how they speak. The accent is slightly different. Southern Americans have a bit more of an accent, which makes it a little bit difficult for us to understand. Okay, so next piece of, next issue, I can say, with the listening is the multiple pieces of information. So a lot of times they are giving you more than two pieces of information. This particularly happens with maps. So when I asked you, what kind of problems do you have with maps? All of you, what kind of problems you have with listening? Many of you said maps. This is because in maps, they will give you more than one piece of information. So for example, if I have, say, a building here, I have a building here, they will give you two pieces of instruction. They will say it is from here and from here. They may even give a third piece of instruction, right? So they may give two pieces of instruction about the location and an additional piece of information as well. So usually having too much information causes some confusion. We are going to be looking at an example for this. So please stay till the end of the session. I will be sharing an example for this. I will also be sharing an example for the accent as well as the pace. Yes? All right. So first things first, let's look at sounds of individual letters and what we can do about that. So there are lots of questions. I'm quickly going through them. Yes, you can write all your answers in capitals. I've already answered that. How to give mocks for listening. I'm not sure I understand your question. Find the mock test. We have mock tests on our portal. So on our website, you can find mock tests that you can take. Will CBT test takers have access to paper in the listening section? Yes. Whether you're CBT or PBT, you will always have access to a rough sheet. Yes. All right. Okay. So some of you are talking about the French and German accents. These accents are not going to be there in your IELTS test. Yes. If you're opting for CBT, Sandeepika, you can do that, although you will be wasting some time. It is preferable if you directly learn to write your answer. Yes. Is watching Peaky Blinders going to help? Yeah, sure. Anything that helps you with an accent, absolutely. All right. Person having conversation, particularly conversation English. Why is it different on chat and in person? Well, that's because we speak differently than we do chat. This is applicable to all languages, not just English, right? Which is why it is more important that we practice speaking in person. So that brings me to my next point. We have the speaking rooms feature where you can go and practice speaking with a live person and not chat with them, right? Okay, so please make sure that you check out our speaking rooms feature, which is available on our IELTS Prep app. You can download it for free, and the speaking rooms are completely free. It is simply a place for you to practice speaking. You can go and practice with the thousands of students who are practicing there, and you will find students practicing there even in the middle of the night. So whenever you find time, when you're bored, you can go and check out those speaking rooms. If you find an interesting conversation, you can join in, and you can even start your own speaking rooms as well. Right. Okay, so let's continue with this. Okay, right. First things first, listen to British accents and Southern American accents. Try out audio spellings. Now, I know that the spelling errors is what we were talking about. When someone is spelling out a name, we have a problem with this. Sometimes we misunderstand the letter that is being pronounced. Now, this is an excellent resource for you to start practicing. If you have this problem, you can use this resource to practice. It is excellent. I can guarantee how excellent it is because I have used it before. I am sharing it here. You can see the link here on the page. You can take a screenshot or you can note it down. Please use this to practice the alphabet sounds. So this is a place where you will hear the audio sounds of each alphabet, and along with that, you will also have practice. So there'll be little audio clips of those letters, and you have to find out which letter they have pronounced. So it helps a lot if you have a problem with this particular aspect. If you are losing marks in spelling, which is not supposed to happen, right? We should not be losing marks because we wrote I instead of A or E instead of I. So please don't lose marks for that reason. Some of you are asking me to paste it in the chat, so I will do that. Just give me a moment. Okay. Right. Okay, so I am sharing it in the chat as well. Please save this link. It's extremely useful if you have a problem with the spelling. With the spelling, because of the accent, if you have this problem, please make sure that you use this. It's extremely helpful and definitely you will see an improvement in that regard. So those of you who do have a problem with, especially when they are giving names in form filling listening questions, that is an issue and you can use this to fix that. Hardika, I already answered that question. Listening practice is available on our website. You can go and use our mock tests, our study materials. You can join any of the classes for free. Once you join any of the classes, you will have access to all of the study material. You will get lifetime access to it. So you can find it there. Right. I have batches starting soon. Okay, what is the best score in IELTS? You can get a full score. You can get 40 on 40 in listening. Highest score is 9 band. Yes. Okay. So let's continue with the next section, and we will be talking about the pace as well as the accent. Right. So we'll continue. Okay, so this is a sample question, and I would like for us to solve this sample question. I will play this audio clip twice. Okay, I will be playing this audio clip twice because first time we will try and answer the questions. After that, we are going to listen to it again to see if there was anything we missed or why we found a particular thing difficult. Yes. Just a moment. I am going to, some of you are asking me to share the link again for, yes, I have shared the link again. So please make sure that you save it, note it down or take a screenshot, whatever. Just make sure that you are saving it. Okay. Right, so let's quickly go through the sample and then we will talk a little bit more about where you can find what. Yes, okay. So just give me one moment. Let me play the audio clip for this. And I'm sure a lot of you will find this to be a bit difficult. Okay. I'm going to start playing the audio clip now. Please let me know if you are able to hear it. Just a moment. Okay. Just a moment.
I thought I saw a removals van.
Now listen to the first part of the conversation and answer questions 11 to 17.
Okay, so we'll start answering these questions.
Hello, Mrs. Sutton. Come in. How are you settling in next door? Have all your things from Canada arrived yet? I thought I saw a removals van outside your house yesterday afternoon.
Yes, they came yesterday. We spent all day yesterday arranging them. It's beginning to feel a bit more like home now.
Oh, that's good. Look, come in and sit down. Are you all right? You look a bit worried.
Well, I am a bit. I'm sorry to bother you so early, Mrs. Smith, but I wonder if you could help me. Could you tell me how I can get hold of a doctor? Our daughter, Anna, isn't very well this morning, and I may have to call somebody out. She keeps being sick, and I am beginning to get a bit worried. I just don't know how the health system works here in England. All I know is that it's very different from ours back in Canada.
All right. Okay, so how did you find this accent? Yes? There were two people speaking? Yes. British accent? Yes. Right. So the answer to the first question, who is Mrs. Sutton worried about? Did we find the answer for that? Anna, exactly. Her daughter, Anna, exactly. So now in this, there were two people speaking, right? There was the old lady, or I don't know, the second person whose daughter was sick. She said that she was from Canada. Her accent was easier to understand, right? So if you write her daughter, Anna, that is fine, because you can write 3 words, or if you've just written Anna, that is also fine. And yes, you have to mention the name, right? It is important that we mention the name. Okay, so the second accent, the person who she was speaking to, who said, come in and sit down, that was a British accent. And even so, her accent had a bit of a drawl. The R sounds, using R sounds to connect words. This you will not find in all British accents. Some British accents have this, and that can make it a bit more difficult for us to understand. Yes? Okay, so I'll continue playing the clip and we will listen to the next question where she's going to explain the answer for the next question. The next question is, what is the name for a group of family doctors working in the same building together? So I will start playing. Please pay attention. Yes, okay.
Well, I don't know really where to start. Let me think. Well, the first thing you have to do is find a family doctor. Sometimes we call them general practitioners as well.
Right.
And register with him or her. If you live here, you've got to be on a doctor's list. If you're not, things can be a bit difficult.
Oh.
Nobody will come out to you if you're not registered. Anyway, they work in things called practices. Sort of small groups of family doctors all working together in the same buildings. Now, what you've got to do this morning is register with one of them. There are 2 practices near here, so we're quite well off.
Okay, so some of you are saying that the audio was interrupted, but some of you have found the answers. Many of you have given the incorrect answer. So what I'm going to do is I am going to play this section again so that you can now listen to it again and check your answer. Yes? Okay, one more time, just this section. So those of you who are having trouble understanding this particular accent, so in this particular case, she is speaking at a moderate pace, slightly above moderate, but the accent is quite different and different from what we are used to. It does take some time, which is why I'm asking you to start listening to particularly British accents, especially those who have this practice of combining or joining words using R sounds. Yes? All right, one more time. Same section. You will notice how the speaker is joining words using R, and this is the kind of voice that I want you to listen to when you are practicing. Yes? So look up British accents or British celebrities, see who has a habit of speaking like that. Listen to those particularly. Right.
And I am beginning to get a bit worried. I just don't know how the health system works here in England. All I know is that it's very different from ours back in Canada.
Well, I don't know really where to start. Let me think. Well, the first thing you have to do is find a family doctor. Sometimes we call them general practitioners as well.
Right.
And register with him or her. If you live here, you've got to be on a doctor's list. If you're not, things can be a bit difficult.
Oh.
Nobody will come out to you if you're not registered. Anyway, they work in things called practices. sort of small groups of family doctors all working together in the same.
All right. So I'm still saying lots of wrong answers. Okay. So in this particular answer, you could see that the answer was given before the explanation. So she said, you need to register with a general practitioner. You can register with him or her. When do we use him or her? When it is singular, right? One person. And what is the question? Group of family doctors. General practitioner is not the answer. They are asking about a group of family doctors. Later, she said, they work in places called the practices, sort of a group of family doctors in the same building. So the explanation came after the answer. This can happen in your listening test, and a lot of students miss this part because they don't recognize that the explanation can come after the answer. So if we are waiting for the explanation, sometimes we will miss the answer because the answer can come before the explanation. Yes, so this is also something to keep in mind. So this is a good example of how accent is particularly difficult to understand if they have this kind of R sounds in the British accent. So when you are practicing listening, look for British documentaries, particularly those with this kind of accent. Yes, answer for 12th is practices. Yes, correct answer is practices. I'm writing it down. So question number 11 is, you can write her daughter Anna. Since we can write 3 words, or you can just write Anna, both are okay. Here we write practices. Yes, okay. Now, I do see some questions here about the spelling for practices. Should I write C or should I write S? So quick tip on that. Words like advice, practice. If you write C, it is the name of something, right? It is a noun. And if you write S, it is an action. It's a verb. Yes, I hope that helped. Yes, in this case, C is correct. S is also correct if you are writing it as a verb. So if I say I am practicing, I will write S. I need practice, I will write C. Right. Okay. All right, guys. So this is what I wanted to show you in regards to the accent. Okay. I am clearing the screen. Those of you who want to look at these 2 answers, you can take screenshot or you can come back and watch the video later. Is spelling mistake a problem? Spelling is a problem if they have spelled it out, right? Names. If it's a name, suppose for A-N-N-A, suppose instead of Anna, A-N-N-A, if you've written A-N-A, it is okay because they have not given the spelling for Anna and it is a proper noun. So this is okay, right? But in this case, you are supposed to write C, practices, because this is a name of something. It is not a verb. Yes. All right. Okay, so let's move on. I will be showing you another example, which is going to be a map, and I will be showing you what makes it difficult when you have multiple pieces of information and what you should be doing about it. Before that, let me quickly tell you about the IELTS speaking rooms on our app, which I have already mentioned. Please make sure that you download the IELTS Prep by LeapScholar app. Here you have the speaking room feature. It is completely free and it is available 24 hours of the day. all days of the year. So anytime you are free, you can go here and you can practice your speaking. Yes? How many of you are actually using this? How many of you are planning to use this? Yes. Okay, great. So many of you are using it already. Fantastic. Some of you are planning to use already. Okay, great. Fantastic. So you can join the speaking rooms using this link. We have shared a link in the chat just now. This is a great way for you to practice speaking. And like I said, you have all sorts of students practicing there and lots of interesting conversations going on, especially in the middle of the night. I myself have joined those speaking rooms just to listen to all the interesting conversations. I do participate in them as well, as do most of our trainers. We all really enjoy the speaking room. So we come there, we join debates with the other students. We see some very interesting debates happening there as well. I think I recently saw in the middle of the night, one group was talking about living abroad versus living in India. Another group was talking about arranged marriage versus love marriage. Another group was talking about DC versus Marvel. So I think all sorts of interesting conversations are happening, but of course, most of the rooms practice specific to IELTS. So they are speaking practice according to the topics for the IELTS speaking. So you will find a lot of that as well. You can go and join whatever you find interesting, and you will find it any time of the day. Even at 2:30 in the night, you will see people practicing there, because there are many students who have already gone abroad and students who are practicing from different parts of the world as well. Yes. Is it a group discussion? No. You can practice whatever you want there. You can even create your own room. You can create your own room, invite your friends, and 4 of you, 5 of you, 20 of you, doesn't matter how many, you can also stay there and practice with your friends. And okay, right. Okay, so please make sure that you are making use of this feature. Please make sure that you are speaking in English in these speaking rooms. That is the purpose of these speaking rooms, and it is there so that all of our students will have someone to practice with. Yes, we do have moderator-led discussions as well. We do have our IELTS buddies who are students who have cleared the IELTS exam, students who did very well on the IELTS exam. We also have trainers who are conducting sessions as well. You can join those also. And of course, you can create your own rooms. Yes. All right. So quickly about the other features that are available to you. Okay. So the Masterclass Challenge. How many of you know about the Masterclass Challenge? The link for the speaking rooms, share it again, please. Yes, it will be shared again. Can we please share the link for the speaking rooms again? Yes. Okay, we will be sharing the speaking room links again. Okay, you all know? Okay, fantastic. So those of you who are here for the first time, we have something called the Masterclass Challenge. So like today's session, we have Masterclass several times during the day, every day, and all of these are available to you completely free. So those of you who attend 4 Masterclasses will unlock the fast track videos that are worth $2.99, and you will also unlock a certificate specially curated by LeapScholar. Yes, so the fast track videos contain all the sections. They are recorded videos that you can watch anytime and completely free, and you get lifetime access to it. So just attend 4 of these master classes and automatically you will have access to the recorded video. I particularly recommend this to students because the fast track includes a grammar series as well. So those of you who are having trouble with grammar, those of you who don't know how to construct complex sentences perfectly, those videos are available, right? Okay, so if you have attended 4 master classes using the same registration email ID, you will automatically be able to unlock the fast track videos on the app. Yes, so download the app. You can click on the masterclass. You can see the link that has been shared here. Can we also please share the link for the speaking rooms? Yes, okay. So yes, this video will be available on YouTube. Again, you can watch it then. Okay, so we have so many masterclasses coming up this week. Please click on the Remind Me button. You can find this on the app. And once you click on the Remind Me button, you will be able to get the reminder for whichever class that you want to join. Once you have joined 4 masterclasses using the same registered email ID, you will automatically be able to download the certificate on the app. Yes? All right. Okay, so those of you who missed the session or have just joined, please come back and watch our recorded session on YouTube. The session is going to be available on our YouTube channel using the link that has been shared in the chat just now. You can subscribe to our channel and watch all of our recordings of these masterclasses. Yes? Any questions? Okay. All right. Okay, so we also have several batches coming up. You can join any of our batches for completely free. You can see that they are 2-week courses and you can join whichever batch is according to your preference. We have different time slots, morning, afternoon, evening, night. You have everything. So just join whichever batch that you find convenient. You can subscribe to our channel and watch the recordings using the link that has just been shared in the chat. Yes? How many of you have subscribed? Okay. Great. Fantastic. All right. Okay. Arjun, it is currently not available on iOS, but you can use BlueStacks to use it on a laptop or PC. You can download the app through BlueStacks and you can use. Even if you have, in case you have an iOS device, you can use it through a laptop or a PC. Yes. All right. Okay, great. So master classes are completely free, like I said. And in the master classes, we cover IELTS for beginners, strategies and tips. And we go module-wise details for all of the question types. We have spoken English classes for beginners as well, grammar and vocabulary, along with interviews from the IELTS scorers. We have lots of interviews with students who have scored very well in the IELTS test. You can watch all of our videos on our YouTube channel as well. So please do make sure to subscribe for the masterclasses. How long will it take for me to improve my listening skills? I would say that you should diligently be practicing listening at least for a month if you want to see a significant improvement. Yes, IELTS listening is the same for both general and academic modules. It's exactly the same. Yes. Sheetal, we have so many videos on that. I myself have done quite a few masterclasses on that topic. You can go and find it on our YouTube channel. Right. Okay, so let's do one more short. We'll just do maybe 2 questions from this. Yes, we are going to do questions 15 and 16. Are you all ready? Yes, we have shared the link for the speaking rooms. Again, those of you who have not checked out the speaking rooms yet, please make sure to check it out. I am going to start playing the audio clip for this one. We will be listening to questions 15 and 16. Yes, all right. Just give me one moment.
You will fashion. This year, they've been asked to design an outfit based on it's better to park in one of the 4 under
to look at questions 15 to 20.
Okay, so I hope you can hear it. It starts from here. Questions 15 and 16. This is the time to look at the question. Guys, the audio has not started yet.
Now listen and answer questions 15 to 20.
The sheep market is one of the main centres for art and history in the whole of the country. If you look at our map, you'll see some of the main attractions there. Most visitors start from Crawley Road at the bottom of the map. The Reynolds House is one of the oldest houses in the city and is open to the public. It's on the north side of Crawley Road, next to the footpath that leads to the public gardens. The area is particularly interesting for its unusual sculptures. The thumb is just what its name suggests, but it's about 10 metres high. You'll see it on Hill Road, across the road from the bank. The museum's got a particularly...
Okay. All right. Can I play it again? First, we'll discuss it. Tell me what you heard for the first question. For the Reynolds house, what details did you hear? Okay, so many of you are giving me answers. Now I'm going to play it again. I don't want the answer. I want you to tell me what are the 2 or 3 pieces of information they have given about the Reynolds house. Yes, Vijita, correct. Yes, oldest house, okay, but that was not necessary for our answer. What else did they say? North of Crawley Road, exactly. North of Crawley Road. Yes, and what was the second piece of information they gave? Yes, north of Crawley Road, yes. One more piece of information they gave. Yes, next to the footpath. Yes, footpath leading to the public gardens. So now tell me, based on these 2 pieces of information, what is the answer? It is north of Crawley Road and it is next to the footpath leading to the public gardens. Where is a footpath leading to the public gardens? Where do you see a footpath leading to the public gardens? Yes, right? The answer for this question is edge. Yes. So north of Crawley Road. So you see, it is immediately to the north of Crawley Road, right? And it is next to a small road that leads to the public gardens. They are calling it a footpath leading to the public gardens. Yes, fantastic. And what about the thumb? What were the 2 pieces of information they gave about the thumb? Yes, Hill Road, yes. Then, yes, right, absolutely. They said that it is opposite the bank. Yes, on the other side from the bank. So the answer for this one is C. Yes, good job. All right, guys. So when you have these kinds of questions, suppose you are finding it very difficult to pinpoint the answer, please practice making notes. That is very, very useful, especially in these types of map questions where they are giving multiple pieces of information. If you have written Hill Road, OPP, bank, opposite bank, these 3 words can give you the answer, right? For Reynolds house, if you have written N Crawley Road or NCR, or you can use an arrow mark, you can make notes however you want. But making those notes is extremely helpful in map questions where they give multiple pieces of information. Manasa, you still get a rough sheet. You can still make notes, and at the end of this section, right, 14 to 20, 15 to 20, at the end of this section, they will give you 30 seconds to check your answers. In that time, based on the notes, you can write down your answers. Even for computer-based tests, they will give you a rough sheet. Guys, I already answered that question. Yes? Okay. All right, guys. So that's it for today. It brings us to the end of the session. So I have given you resource for practicing the spelling. Yes, please make sure that you use that link and learn how different letters are pronounced in the native accent. I've already answered this question. Even in the PBT test, you will be given headphones. Okay. All right, guys. So please make sure to subscribe to our channel. The link has been shared in the chat. Please make sure that you are subscribing to the channel so that you can have access to all of our masterclass videos. And you can come back and watch this video whenever you want. My next lecture is actually tomorrow, same time, 4 o'clock. You will have access to this video on YouTube soon. And you can set masterclass reminders using the link that has been shared in the chat box. I do have a session tomorrow on speaking, right? So tomorrow's session is going to be on speaking. So please make sure that you attend tomorrow's session. I will be teaching you lots of tips for speaking tomorrow. Great. I am planning on sharing a vocabulary list as well. So do look forward to that. Great. Thank you very much. I will see you all tomorrow. You can watch this video again on YouTube using this link. So those of you who joined halfway or joined late, you can use this link to watch this video again. Right. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day. I'll see you all tomorrow.